Hey guys, my name is Katrina Kibben, and I'm the founder and CEO of a company called 3earsmedia. And at 3earsmedia, we're focused on writing better content in the recruiting experience, and a big part of that has to do with job postings. So today, I wanted to take a little bit of a twist on that information. I want to teach candidates how to read those job postings. Because inevitably, after you sit around and write a lot of job postings, you'll learn a few things that I think will absolutely help you as a candidate, because that job posting is the first and the very first thing you see when it comes to getting a new job. So let's jump right in. I'm gonna stop showing you my face. Actually, we'll jump right over. So the reason I do this work is because I was laid off before. I was actually laid off 3 days before I bought the house that you're looking at on your screen right now. So you can imagine, I was really scared. I was panicked, right? I was about to write a check for basically my entire savings account, and I didn't know where my next check would come from. I didn't know how I was going to get paid, and I was scared. And so I went online to look for a job. And what I found there were a ton of cliches. I found a bunch of people saying a lot of stuff without saying anything at all. I found buzzwords galore. And honestly, it set the tone for my job searching experience. It made me think that nobody cared about me or who they really hired. They just wanted some warm butt in the seat. And that's not why anyone wants to change a job. And so ultimately, I wanted to focus on job postings because I know I'm not special. And my family hates that I say that ever. But my point is not to self-deprecate. My point is to say that everyone who searches for a job should be able to get information about that job. Every person who looks at a job posting should be able to dream a little. They should know a few things after reading it, and most companies don't quite get there. And so I started a whole company that teaches people how to get there. And I've done that in a few different ways. So I've done a lot of coaching one-on-one. I've worked with big teams and taught all of them how to write better job postings. And I write a lot of job postings. Now, I tell you all of that because, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it taught me a few things that I know can help you in your job search. And I think there are a few ways that we could approach that. So I picked these 4 topics. We're going to call them the lessons of the day to use as tactics for you as you're going through job postings, and basically how to translate those into your advantage as you go and search in this new market. The first thing we're going to talk about is researching job titles and really understanding what they mean. Then I want to talk about what's most important. So when you look at a job description, how do you know what's most important? I'll teach you how to do that too. Then I'm going to give you a few buzzwords that you need to look out for and explain exactly why those buzzwords are so bad for your career. And finally, I want to give you something that will help you write memorable messages when you're following up. Now, again, take a screenshot of this. That is my actual email address, and you should know that you can follow up with me and ask questions if you have any along the way. So I'd suggest taking a screenshot right now. Yes, right now, so that you can contact me if you have any questions as we go through this, all right? So I wouldn't be able to run an entire company writing job postings most of the time if most job postings weren't terrible. Now, the reason why they're terrible is not a huge bash on the industry or anything like that. The reality is that most recruiters who are hiring you for a job have never done the job that you do. And so they don't know how to explain the intricate details. They don't know how to describe a day in the life unless they know the right questions to ask and they know how to write a job posting. So ultimately, for you, it's about creating a resume that matches the experiences they think they're looking for. And they tell us a lot subconsciously about what they're looking for. And that's pretty much what I want to teach you how to do through today. So lesson number 1 is about job titles. I wish someone had told me earlier in my life that job titles are completely made up. Literally, I figured it out when I started my own company. See, I sat down to create my business cards and it said job title, and I realized I could type whatever I want there. And that any company can type whatever they want there. And that all job titles are not created equal. Ultimately, everyone is just doing a lot of guessing. And you could really be hurting your resume by guessing or just putting the job title that you had verbatim. And here's why. When recruiters are searching for your job, your resume in a database, they're going to search specific keywords. Job title is definitely a section that they use and search regularly. What you're looking at on the screen are how often these keywords are searched each month on Google. Which one do you want to have on your resume? The one with 80,000 searches or the one with 4,000 searches each month? No brainer here, right? So how do you figure out which titles get more traffic? I want you to Google the job title you're using right now and the word resume. So let's say you're a VP of talent resume. Type that into Google and hit image search results. You know what you're going to find there? Hundreds of resumes. By the way, if you're looking for a template, voila. But what you're looking for right now are job titles. You're going to find 3 to 4 to compare, and then open another free tool called Google Trends, enter those numbers, and look at how that traffic compares. You'll see a chart just like the one you're looking at that says interest over time. That will show you, based on a score out of 0 to 100, which search gets the most traffic. If you're looking for a job in a specific region, you can also dial into that region simply by clicking on your state and viewing by county how these keywords are searched. Lesson number 2 is about finding what's most important in a job posting. And I have to tell you, this is the question I get from my friends all the time, especially the friends who just know that I work in recruiting, but they don't get exactly what I do. They'll say, I'm looking at this job posting. It just sounds like a bunch of rambling. And I don't know what's most important. I want to stand out. What should I say? So I want to make reading these postings a little bit easier and make writing your resume really easy. Because what you're going to do is take that job posting and dump it into a free word cloud generator. By the way, to find one, you'll type in free word cloud generator. I know. When you hit submit on that site, it will create a word cloud just like the one you're looking at on this screen. This is an example I did for a marketing manager. And what I can quickly see in the keywords that I would incorporate in my resume if I were to apply to this job are managing a team, campaigns, and digital brand experiences. Do you see how all those words pop out? Exactly. Lesson number 3 is that you should be on the lookout for buzzwords, because something that sounds too good to be true probably is. You should look out for that fluffy language and really look out for those fluffy job titles. And here's why. No one out in the world is searching for ninja candidates except maybe 7-year-olds, right? The average hiring manager does not go into an applicant tracking system and type in ninja or rock star, because that's not really what they want. And we know that these titles aren't universal. They're all made up. And so ultimately, you don't want to be a ninja. You don't want to be a rock star, because the next company that looks at your resume will think, what the heck is this? Unless you're taking the advice that we mentioned earlier. You need job titles that are explicit. And I want you to avoid companies that don't pass what I call this sham wow test, right? All of a sudden, it sounds like they're trying to sell you weight loss equipment or pills or dieting something, and you're kind of freaked out, and it's setting off that radar that something doesn't feel right. Don't apply. What you should be looking for are these 4 things. 1, does it explain what you do every day? And do you like doing those things? 2, do you know what the impact of your work is? Who do you help every day? The tone, does it pass that sham wow test? Does it feel like they're trying to sell this a little too hard? That might be a red flag. And finally, the perks. You are the boss of your career. What perks matter to you? Make sure that you get these questions answered in that job posting or in the very first conversation. These are really, really important. And finally, lesson number 4. So I don't have a ton of time today to go down this whole conversation about sending follow-up emails, but it's another thing that I've done a lot of. In fact, I even wrote a book about it. So this book is written for recruiters, but I'll tell you, it applies to any email you write. It applies to any time that you want to get someone's attention, because that's what writing recruiting outreach emails is all about. Those frameworks apply, and it's free. So worst case scenario, you delete the PDF. But I think you should go over to bit.ly/3ears email right now and go get a copy, because it can help you get that follow-up. Because once you read this job description, nail that resume, nail that application, you are going to need an awesome follow-up email, and that's exactly where this is going to come in. And if you really love this video, I would strongly encourage you to subscribe over at KatrinaKibben.com. That is my name. I'm the only one out there. So if you spell my name correctly, you will find me. And I bring candidate and career content for recruiters and HR, new ideas all the time that you might find really, really interesting. So I will see you over there, and thank you so much for watching. Happy job hunting.